When I think of my nostalgia for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country, I remember it having the best combat of all the Xenoblade games I had played, alongside a story I was interested in. Unfortunately though, one aspect of the game became a large detractor and took me 6 hours to complete, which evaporated the momentum. And after rewatching my playthrough, I've decided to place it behind Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. Here's why. While playing through the game, I definitely had a lot of excitement for where the game could go. There was always some mystique surrounding Jin, and this felt like a good opportunity to delve into more of his past and further explain how things happened. This was also a chance for the game to explore some new ideas, as well as change some old ideas. One of the immediate aspects that my past self grew to love was the combat. It seemed to have improved upon what was delivered in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and was much faster paced. Being able to switch between drivers and blades was exciting and fresh, and the ability to do massive damage opened up very quickly. Without a doubt, the combat was the star of the show, and I easily pegged it as the best part of the game. In my thoughts of the game, however, I did have criticisms of gameplay elements and its story. Narratively speaking, it ended up being a disappointment primarily because it focused on a confrontation between Mithra and Malos. This became a letdown for me because I had already experienced that showdown, and was hoping for more story to go in a completely different direction. Specifically, if it revolved around Jin and Malos teaming up, I think I would have been pretty satisfied. I think that the implementation of the community system was interesting and fresh, but the choice to tie it to the story progression obliterated any momentum the game was building up for me. For both Community Level 2 and Level 4, I was forced to do side quests to gather up enough people so that I could move on with the main story. This took a collective 6.5 hours to do for a 16-hour game, and it just wasn't fun. Ultimately, I had a lot of fun with the game, and the final showdown with Malos certainly had its epic moments, but in the end, my past self would have enjoyed the game much more without the requirement of side quests. For the rewatch, I found the experience to be fairly decent. In almost every instance, I found myself agreeing with my past self. I do think the story provided was anticlimactic in a sense, due to the Mithra and Malos confrontation feeling redundant. I was also baffled by not only having required side quests to progress the main story, but the sheer amount of them. Even if it was a very short game, barring progression in this manner certainly tarnished what would otherwise be a fairly positive experience. Based on memory, I ranked Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country at 86 out of 117, and I could definitely see where I was coming from there. Despite the combat being very fun and elevating the series to new heights, a story that fell flat for me, combined with the fact that I spent approximately 30% of the game doing required side quests, creates a recipe for the game to fall behind. If the forced side quests were removed entirely, I could really see myself ranking this significantly higher. Unfortunately, the impact of a cardinal sin can be heavy, so I think this comes up behind Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. Both of these games were short experiences where the combat kept my interest, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna the Golden Country pays a heavy price for their community system. For Persona 5, it simply loses out due to it dragging on for too long, where its competitor only had 6.5 hours and compared to 50-ish hours.